name is Glenn Hauer of ARAM Systems, and I would like to introduce ARIES II by giving a brief overview of its new features. Building upon the success of ARAM ARIES with its rugged and reliable ground equipment, ARIES II provides a system architecture enabling data acquisition companies to meet future demands for high-density, high-productivity cable-based seismic acquisition. Listed are some of the key aspects of ARIES II discussed in this presentation. ARIES II is the newest cable-based addition to ION's Right Tools portfolio. Rugged, reliable reputation of ARAM equipment was a major consideration in the engineering changes implemented within ARIES II, resulting in dramatic improvements to capacity, productivity, and flexibility. The hooks are now in place to support recent and ongoing developments in high channel count advanced fiber size operations. The ARIES II system capacity is now greater than 24,000 channels at 2 mil sampling with a wired baseline. The baseline itself can handle over 6,000 channels at 12 megabits per second. The capacity of the system is 4 baselines. Receiver line capacity is now increased to 2,400 channels from 1,200 channels in ARIES I with quad transmission at 4.5 megabits per second. The ARIES II baseline architecture provides more efficient utilization of receiver lines, even when using the same transmission speed as ARIES. This allows crews to effectively roll active spreads without moving the recording truck. The data transmission architecture dramatically improves the utilization on a single baseline. For example, for the following acquisition requirement, with a 5 kilometer by 5 kilometer offset at 50 meter intervals, the requirement of 34 receiver lines times 201 channels in the active spread, this results in a 6,834 channel live active spread. ARIES I can only handle less than 50% of the R-line requirement on a single baseline, 16 out of 34 of those receiver lines. The change in the architecture allows ARIES II to handle greater than 90% of that requirement, 31 out of 34 receiver lines. In essence, handling the entire active spread on one baseline on one side of the recording truck. Increased productivity with ARIES II with automatic features such as network load balancing, transmission speed detect, and retrieval rate adjust. The network load balancing allows users to hook up the equipment in the field, and ARIES II will automatically network load balance without the time-consuming guess and test for optimum efficiency and data retrieval. Also, the balanced load also results in power draw on each of the rams that is efficient and equal for all of the rams in the active spread. The automatic transmission speed detect is for those crews using a combination of rental and owned equipment with varying lengths of cable and equipment programmed at different transmission speeds. ARIES II will automatically adjust transmission speeds to fit the specified cable and spread configurations. Retrieval rate adjust will allow users to retrieve data from challenging spread configurations where the capacity limit on a single network path is exceeded. Increased productivity also in advanced fiber size support. The new architecture can accommodate a variety of fiber size operating modes such as GPS-enabled source-driven, VSR or fiber size signature recording, HFES, and flip-flop, in addition to ongoing developments in simultaneous shooting and slip sweep. In addition, multiple levels of telemetry reliability exist in ARIES II, quad-port telemetry, or receiver line redundancy, reliable telemetry in electrostatic conditions. There are a lot of new fail-safe check procedures to enable data retrieval in tough, high-energy electrostatic environments. Multipath telemetry with rerouting and error-free data recovery. Data is stored in memory in the RAMs and retransmitted if there is a data transmission failure. All this results in increased productivity. A key improvement in ARIES II with worst-case batteries is the lower power consumption. 40% less power consumption than ARIES I in ARIES II RAMs. So now, worst-case batteries will last 50% longer. Worst-case batteries are those batteries that transmit the most data and are closest to the baseline. So now a battery that used to last 4 days at 24 hours per day operations will now last 6 days. The line tap unit now has 50% less power consumption than the ARIES I LTU in transmission mode. So now batteries attached to those line tap units closest to the recording truck will last twice as long. Improved load balancing also results in more efficient channel use and effective power reduction per channel. Operational flexibility. The 4-way analog line tap unit provides more flexible networking and simplified deployment than ARIES LTU. The 4-way analog LTU contains 8 channels, and it greatly simplifies multiple baseline layouts. In addition, receiver line capacity has doubled, so the distance that you can lay out a receiver line into those hard-to-reach areas has now doubled. For example, in ARIES I, receiver line outreach was 35 kilometers. Now it is up to 70 kilometers. ARIES II also accommodates simple and complex survey designs for land and transition zone acquisitions. The patented ARAM marine casing for land equipment is shown in the picture, in which users can place their land equipment inside a marine case tolerant to 75 meters of salt water in depth, and you can use wet and dry connectors, and of course support air gun operating modes for those transition zone surveys. Simplified obstacle avoidance with the use of NetLink 2 wireless cable replacement. Data transmission can now occur across roads, rivers, runways, canyons. It's very lightweight, easy to deploy with quick alignment, and it is a wireless cable replacement on either a receiver line or a base line. In addition, ARIES II is compatible with most source controllers on the market, including Pelton source controllers, and is, of course, compatible with all geophones available on the market today. ARIES II is known for its rugged ground equipment. ARAM's packaging is the most rugged and reliable casing for ground electronics in the industry. Data acquisition companies want equipment that will not let them down in hostile climates and environments. The rugged packaging protects the most critical electronic components used for data acquisition and transmission. This results in a lower long-term cost of ownership. ARAM's commitment to quality has given customers the confidence in going to the field with equipment that gets the job done. By the time ground equipment has left the door of ARAM's manufacturing facility, it has been tested no less than 3 times, cold, hot, and at room temperature, and then is retested if any components in the original test procedures fail. This is all followed by commissioning for the client with all system components. Advanced quality control. Moving to the high channel counts required in today's land acquisitions means a move to both receiver and shot-based attribute quality control, similar to marine acquisition with towed streamers. On the screen you'll see the traditional trace view, but on the bottom you will see patch view. Patch view provides operators and field geophysicists with an at-a-glance view of noise, RMS amplitude, adjacent RMS amplitude, and signal-to-noise ratio, in addition to ongoing shot-based summary of attributes allowing one to detect hourly or daily trends in data quality. The trace info view shown, on the bottom you'll see stations analyzed and stations passed with a percentage of passed stations. Operators can use an at-a-glance view to see if a shot has passed quality control attributes, which are set by field-based geophysicists.